Hey everybody, Mike here, MW Sharps on Instagram and YouTube. Today we're going to be doing a video on a blade swap between a lightweight pair 3 and a standard G10 pair 3, and if they're compatible. I happen to know they're compatible because this is the Rex 45 lightweight handles, and it's running an S30v blade already. And this as well as a blade swap. It's got the S30v blade, where this exclusive came with a S35 VN blade steel. So they're both already running different blades, but we're gonna see if we can swap them between a lightweight and a G10 version. So let's get started. The tools you'll need to do this conversion: the lightweight uses a T10 on the pivot, a T6 on the stop pin, and T8s on the back body screw and the pocket clip. And on the pocket clip is actually holding the knife together as well, so that's gonna have to come off for the swap. And the G10 version is using a T10 on the pivot and a T8 on that body screw, and that's it. That's all you'll need. They've got a stop pin, a solid stop pin on the G10 versions. So we'll start with the G10 version. So you'll need your Torx bits and then some kind of bit driver. It'll be easy to keep everything separated, but you want to just make sure if you got two knives with the same color hardware that you keep them separated. Make everything easier for you. That's a T10. We need the T8. This one's got an aftermarket G10 backspacer. Oh, we're spinning here. So what's happening right now is when I'm spinning this side, it's just free spinning the opposite. So to fix that, we're going to need to find another Torx bit, which I got here. It's kind of a backup driver. Usually, another thing you can do is you can take a pair of pliers, not with this backspacer, but you could grab that on like a paramilitary 2, a pair of needle nose. You can just hold that barrel spacer and then unscrew it just fine. This one, it's got that backspacer, so you can't hold it. So what you'll need to do is get a second driver and hold that back side while you're unscrewing this side to keep it from spinning. And it should do the trick. This side's out, but that side hung up, so you want to tighten this side back down. The goal is to try to either get all of one face off first, and then you have access to that barrel spacer, or get them both to go at the same time. So I want to tighten this back one because I want this front one off. Ideally, if only one's gonna get removed, I want it to be this front one. Having no issues on the back one. That being said, if that's the case, if that's the one that's easy and wants to come out, we'll just take that one out. And all we gotta do at that point is pull this pivot off of this side. So again, to recap, I was having issues getting this one out because that barrel nut was just spinning, or the barrel spacer. So this one wanted to come out easy, so I took that one out and popped this side. That way, let's see. Everything's falling apart. I'm trying to keep it together here for the video, otherwise I just pop it out. The only thing holding it still is the lanyard tube. And I think for what we're doing today, I'm just gonna leave that. So you can peel that side back. We've got one washer here that already dropped out. Your second phosphorus bronze washer. Your pivot's already in the blade. We're gonna pop that out into our pile of parts. Again, keep everything separate for both the video's sake and so you don't get things mixed up. So what we've got left is all this is going to stay together. If I was completely disassembling for a different reason or to clean it or whatever, you could wiggle this apart if you're switching the scales. But from the blade swap, what I'm doing today, we're just going to leave it as is. We got some little oil residue here. I'm going to step away from the camera real quick and grab some wipes. So we're going to use just some rum oil wipes. These are good for a lot of things. I use them for knives and firearms. But it's nice because it gives you something to kind of wipe with, obviously, to get that whatever gunk is on there. You can actually physically wipe it off instead of just spraying it with some oil. And as you can see, you're left with an oily finish. So you kind of get a 2-for-1, if you will. Want to give those washers just a little rub. Be very careful not to bend them. If you bend them, you're gonna be in rough shape, and you can't get new ones of these from Spyderco. They won't send them out. So just give all the contact and pivot areas a wipe down. Get them all nice and shiny and oiled up. You can see I had some gunk in there. So we'll set this to the side, and now we'll get the lightweight taken apart, and we can do the blade swap. So we'll do that one on this side here. Again, we'll need a T10 for the pivot. You'll need a T6 for the stop pin. This one came out just real easy, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this side apart all the way across and just pop that face or that scale off and be able to do the same thing. We won't have to worry about the lanyard tube sticking on the lightweight because that is not the style that it has. With the FRN, they just molded it in. Got the back body screw, and then flip it back over, and the pocket clip actually runs all the way through that screw and holds the knife together as well as holding the pocket clip on. So we should be able to just pop this face off now. Yep. So this is what the inside of a lightweight looks like. It is definitely different than a standard G10 model. The G10 model's got liners on both sides. The lightweight model, no liners. It does have the compression lock, so it kind of looks like half a liner on this one, I guess, but that's for the lock. It has one of the phosphorus bronze bushings, not two. So it's got one on the side that has the metal, this FRN side, no washer at all. It's still real smooth. So wipe this side down real quick, and then we'll swap the blades and put it back together. I'll compare the blades as well and show you that everything's going to be the same as far as that goes. So actually both of these blades are out of a G10 Para 3. They don't make an S30v lightweight as of yet. So this blade would have had to have come out of a G10 model. But as you can see, they're both the same. Another cool thing Spyderco does is they put a date code on the blades. So the satin one is 6/18 and the DLC is 8/17. So, wipe that down. I think we are ready to reassemble. Get some oil on that bushing there. So, like I said, we're gonna put the black blade back on the lightweight. One more spot I'm gonna get clean. So that pops on. The lightweights are really easy to put back and forth. I guess they both are, but the fact that it's only one washer, no liner, it just kind of pops right on. So we'll get this started, just finger tight for now. Get our little T6 to go into the stop pin. Our body screw, which is the 8. It's gonna be this one. And last but not least, we'll throw that pocket clip back on. Another thing on these pocket clips, these wire ones are great and I think they look cool. But I have seen the RGT or Rips Garage Tech is making some like solid milled titanium clips that'll fit on these lightweights in the grooves for the wire. So it'll go on a chef, it'll go on these pair of 3s, a Mannix, anything that uses these lightweight pocket clips, the wire clips. They are making, RGT is making a solid, like a 3D milled titanium clip that'll fit them, and it looks pretty slick. Lynch is also making a titanium deep carry clip that'll drop in to these 2 little grooves. That's what the grooves look like on this side, and those wires just drop in. So those 2 manufacturers have figured out a way to make a solid clip that just rides in those 2 little grooves. So pretty cool. You can see this one is back together. A little bit of side to side that I can fix by tightening the pivot a bit. All right, so that is a Rex 45 lightweight burnt orange FRN pair 3 rocking a DLC S30v blade. Looks pretty slick. So let's put the G10 version back together. This one's got a couple more parts, but nothing too crazy. We'll be able to work through it. First thing, on the pivot, on the paramilitary 2s and the 3s, one of these, one side and one edge of that circle is flattened. It'll be matched on the pivot. So you want to put your washer down first. You want to find that flat edge on here and then drop that in, and that's how I start it. And then you want to put your blade down. Let's see, it's going to be easier to do it on the other side because of the stop pin. So that just means you want to make sure your flat part is facing up and to the back. You still might have to wiggle it around to get it to drop in to the other side to match that flat. But you want to, if you didn't take it fully apart, you just got to give it a little bit of upward pressure. And see if we can get up to, yep, we're there. So you actuate the lock and kind of everything will fall into place if you've got it right. So it is right. So to hold that there, I'm gonna drop a pivot in and get it hand tight. And do the same on the other side before I let go, because it may have the tendency to pop up or slide. Function is good. We've got a body screw to put in the back, and again that was the T8, so that's going to be this one here. That nice and tight. We're spinning on the other side, so we'll get our second bit driver, get that held, and just tighten them that way. So now we've got kind of a Franken-Para. It's got the S30v dark brown exclusive scales. It's got a satin S30v blade. It's rocking a titanium deep carry clip and then a black G10 backspacer. So that is how you can blade swap pair of threes, whether it's G10 to G10, lightweight to lightweight, or lightweight to G10. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you. Thanks.